The DISC test has identified practitioner as your behavioral trait. Emotionally, you want to keep up with others in an effort and in technical performance. Your goal is personal growth. You want to become all you can be. You judge others through by their capacity for self-discipline, position, and promotions. You watch for how well they do in areas, how well they perform technically, and how well they perform from a personal and self-discipline perspective. And that's important to you. And you judge other people by how well they do that. You influence others through confidence in their ability to master new skills, or in your ability to master new skills, and develop proper procedures and actions. So in your world, you want to make sure that the procedures are being followed, that you have proper procedures, and the actions that are following it are credible. Your value to the organization is in your skills in technical and people problem solving. You display proficiency and specialization in the areas you work in. So you're one of these people who have the ability to get things done. You know how to do things. You may not have all that you need at any one time to know what's supposed to be done, but you know how to do it once people finally figure out what it is they want to have done. You might overuse attention to personal objectives, unrealistic expectation of others. You might look at a project and look and say, look, all these things need to get done, and you might give them a schedule, or you might give them criteria that is just unreasonable. So when you set these expectations, make sure that you set expectations that you have buy-in, that you've collaborated with the people in the team, you've collaborated with them on due dates, on what has to be performed, on how it has to get done, and why it has to get done the way it needs to get done. And because under pressure, you'll become restrained and sensitive to criticism. So if you get into a project and you get in trouble and criticism starts coming, you're going to get a little bit frustrated, and you'll become a little sensitive to criticism, and you'll have a tendency to push back. You fear predictability, and you also fear not being recognized as an expert. You want to be recognized as an expert. You're a practitioner. You have these abilities and this know-how, and you should be recognized as an expert. So let people know that that's important to you, and look for places where you can get awards and where you can have celebrations for successes, and where you can have certificates for things you've achieved. So you're one of these people who really values proficiency in specialized areas. Something like an engineering area, or something in the arts where it requires technical proficiency, maybe in photography or in videography. These things that, on the technical end of it, these things that need technical expertise and somebody who likes to know how to do things and get them done. Although your aim is to be the expert in an area, you frequently imply you know something about everything. Well, of course, that's not true. My wife and I have something that we joust each other with. Is I know everything and she's always right. Well, of course, you can't know everything. You can't always be right. You need to understand that, and not take yourself so seriously in that area, because you can't know something about everything. We tend to be generalists or specialists. The practitioner in specialization tends to be specialized, not generalized. In other words, they know a lot about a few things, where a generalist knows a little bit about a lot of things. A practitioner needs to be focused on the specialization areas, and it won't play well to try to look at life and think that you know something about everything. Nobody can. Now, you might be, and practitioners typically are very intelligent and have a lot of information, but just remember that you can't know everything about everything. This image is particularly strong when you verbalize your knowledge on a variety of subjects. So you might be able to talk about a lot of subjects, but let people know that it's your interest that's making this happen, that's bringing this about. It's your interest in things, not the fact that you think you know everything about everything. It's just you have a lot of broad interests and you want to talk about those things. Just make sure that they know that it's a conversational thing with you. Except for the area that you are expert in, and you can make that clear also, that hey, maybe you are an engineer and you're an electronics engineer and you know a lot about that particular world. Well, just let people know that hey, you may know a lot about those things and it may come to you naturally, but that you also like to talk about a lot of different things and know about as much as you can about other things. You have a congenial attitude, but it may change quickly in your work area when you become intensely focused in order to meet high standards for performance. So you might find that you're working really hard and pushing very diligently toward a particular goal and direction, but your attitude can change from congenial to be a little bit temperamental in this intense focused movement toward your goal. You value self-discipline, and you evaluate others on their basis of their ability to be able to focus in their daily performance. Make sure that when you do that, that you're basing it on standards that the other person have agreed to meet. If you're a supervisor, if you're another person that works next to somebody, understand what their goals are. Maybe help them to understand that it's good to have standards and to meet those standards. But judging others by their performance puts you in a precarious position and puts you in a position of being their judge. And of course, you don't want that. It's not your intention. Just make sure that they understand it and you understand it. You have high expectations of others and yourself, and you tend to verbalize your disappointment. So make sure when you're verbalizing disappointment, you have something to stand on, that you have set standards for other people to meet when they work for you, or if they don't work for you, work alongside them. Help them to understand that the standards that they work toward can help them meet their goals. But if there are not standards set, understand that other people don't set standards for themselves naturally like you do. They have to be set for them. So judging them based upon that is going to just be disappointing for you over and over again. You concentrate on developing an organized approach to work and increasing your own skills. You also need to help others build their skills. You, as a practitioner, it becomes natural to you to work on building your skills, to be this disciplined person that moves point by point through your work schedule and task by task. Make sure that you help others build their skills also. When you see somebody around you that doesn't know something as much as you do, take the time, take the break, go help them become all they can be. Okay, here's some action items. You'd increase your effectiveness with more genuine collaboration for common benefit. Again, this word collaboration comes up. It's an important concept. The idea that you work with people to set goals, with people to establish tasks, and with people to establish standards and how you measure those standards. A delegation of key tasks to appropriate individuals. You can't do everything and become as productive as you should. There should be a list in front of you consistently that says, like, here are the things that only I can do, and here are the things that I can delegate to other people. Or here are the things that I have good, strong skills in accomplishing, and there's some things here that I don't do well. Make sure that you either delegate those, or that you work with somebody as your supervisor or somebody that you work with to see if you can split the tasks up to work within your strengths more. Increase your appreciation of those who contribute to the work effort, even though they may not use your preferred methods. So when you see people getting things done and they're not meeting your standards, they're not doing things the way you should think they should be done, but they're still accomplishing things, show some appreciation. Don't look at things and think that you're the only one that knows how to get them done. You know a lot, you're sharp, you know how to do things, but just because you know how to do them doesn't mean somebody else can't get them done their way and get them done properly. So there's your behavior attitudes or your behavioral traits.